Hey there, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another review for the month of horror. This time, Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies. And this is actually a second time I'm doing this video because the first time, I'm like, nah, this is not going to be a rant because 3 and 4, Wishmaster 3 and 4 are a lot worse, and they still are a lot worse than Wishmaster 2. I don't think it's as bad as those. But the more I talked about it, the more I was ranting about it. I'm like, this is a rant, or at least a review slash rant. I mean, hell, this is a perfect example. You look at the first poster. It looks like there's some thought put into it. It looks nice. Tagline: Be careful what you wish for. Then you look at the second one and how lazy the poster is. It's just an up close of an eye. Evil has been summoned again. Like, fucking lazy tagline, lazy poster, lazy movie. The two things I could say about Wishmaster 2. Andrew Divoff returns as the Wishmaster. He does not come back for 3 and 4, which is one of many problems with those. But Andrew Divoff does a good job. I thought that's one of the characters he was born to play, was the Wishmaster. Second, there's a couple nice goopy, gory practical effects. There's a scene where a guy goes through prison bars, and you get goopy and gory. There's an ending at a casino where cars are flying and they get stuck in people's faces. A guy falls to the floor, his face opens up, his stomach opens up. But I will say, the other than those two, it's such a huge step down from the first movie. Now, it was written and directed by Jack Shoulder, who did Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, which I reviewed when I reviewed all the Elm Street movies. And I'm a big fan of Elm Street 2. I know it changed the rules of the game, of Freddy. But it didn't bother me because I thought it worked well. I liked the characters. I liked Jesse. I liked, Kim Myers. I love the score. It's actually my favorite score of the Elm Street films, but Christopher Young did. I love the lines of dialogue. You've got the body. I've got the brain. I love Elm Street 2. It's one of my favorite Elm Street movies. He directed The Hidden, which I don't think I reviewed, which, if I did, it was long ago or on another channel, but I like The Hidden. He did Alone in the Dark from 1982, the slasher movie with Jack Palance, Martin Landau. That's a good movie. So Jack Shoulder's a capable director, but this is one of his worst movies. I'm not sure if it's absolute worst, but it's one of his lesser movies. Because the first film it's a shorter movie than the second one, but yet it has a lot more, this has a lot more creativity, gore. It felt like every 5 to 10 minutes there's another crazy effect and gore gag. That's probably because it was directed by an effects guy. But that was the fun of it. That's the creativity of it. A friend of mine mentioned it's sort of like when you were watching the Elm Street movies. What new effect? Here, though, Wishmaster 2, there's not a lot of that going on. They changed the plot of the genie, because this time, when he is broken out, because you have these two thieves at the beginning at this art gallery, man and a woman. The female thief is our lead character. She kills this guard, which later on she regrets because the guy was an innocent guy and had a wife and kid. So like that's all her character has going for it. But like the actress I didn't care for. Like the actress in the first film isn't the best, but I prefer her over the actress in this movie. The character didn't do anything for me. Then she has this friend who's a priest, and he was very bland and boring. So our main characters are, yeah, bland and boring are the best way to describe them. Like Andrew Divoff is the best actor in the movie. Although you do have an appearance by Bokeem Woodbine in the third act, because he runs the casino. And then Tiny Lister Jr., Debo from Next Friday. He's Zeus in No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan. He's in this as a guard at a prison. Because the plot is after he's released, he lets himself get caught, and now he needs 1,001 souls, which was before he can contact or go face to face with the person who released them and ask for their 3 wishes, and then all the genies can come into the world. And I'm thinking, 1,001 Souls, that wasn't in the fucking first movie, so changing shit again. But okay, if you don't have, 1,001 Souls, I guess because 1,000, wasn't that Arabian, 1,001? No. You know what? If you don't put that high of a number, that means you should have a shitload of death scenes and effects and creative effects, but no. Because Wishmaster 2 is a much lower budget movie. And the first film was a low budget flick too. The first film was like $5 million budget. So I don't know how much fucking lower Wishmaster 2 was, but not a lot of shit happens. And I like the idea that he gets himself caught and he's in a prison. Because what better location is there for a person or people that want wishes? I wish to be free. I wish death on this guy who's fucked with me. I wish not to get raped. You can find a lot of wishes in a prison, so that's a smart idea for the villain to let himself be in prison. But they don't capitalize on it. I mean, when he's in prison, apparently he gets like 200 souls wished, because it gets to a point where this guy who he meets in prison, this Russian guy, talks to our lead characters, and he's like, he needs 800 more. Oh, well, that's going to take a while. Now where he's going, and that's where you get to the third act where he goes to a casino. But I'm like, he got 200? We see like 4 people of 200. I'm not saying you don't show hundreds, but how about 10? Or how about, 8? And of the 4, the one good one is, well, alright one, is the scene I said where the guy gets pushed through the bars because he wants to go right through those bars. So in the twist, he does. Pushes him out of the bars, goopy and gory. But the other 3, one guy goes, I want my lawyer to go fuck himself. A phrase. Then he's talking to his lawyer, and the lady's been back, not in a graphic fashion, much more comedic, goofy. And it turns around, the guy's like, oh, what's going on? Oh, and then literally is fucking himself. And it's played for comedy and laughs. Goofy. Not sick or disgusting or gruesome. No blood in that scene. It's just very goofy. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And then the other 2, one guy says, I want to get wasted. I want you to stomp me to the ground. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's going to be. No. Andrew Devo just makes the 2 karate guys who's with him kick him a couple times. Kick him a couple times in the chest, kick him in the face. And that's it. He doesn't get killed. There's nothing really gory or anything. It's just he gets beat up. He's on like this, breathing. And Tiny Lister Jr., the prison guard, stops the fight. I'm like, well, that's fucking lame. I think about all the crazy effects or wishes or the cleverness, the creativity. Like the Chris Lemon who asked for $1 million. The creativity. Well, your mom dies in a plane crash. That's how you get the $1 million. There's not much creativity in this. Hell, there's sometimes where people aren't even fucking wishing. Because in the art gallery at the beginning, a guard goes freeze at Andrew Devoff. And he's like, did you say freeze? Freeze! As you wish, and freezes him as if he's fucking Sub-Zero. And I'm like, that's not even a wish. He didn't... That's an order. That'd be like me going, fuck you, as you wish, and I'm fucking his ass. That's not a wish. Come on now. There's not a lot, and Jack Schulter wrote and directed this, so he's to blame for that. And that's what I mean. Other than Andrew Devoff and a couple gory effects, this movie, it feels slower, especially in the middle part. It very much slows down. After and the 4th thing in the prison, Tiny Lister Jr. says, I want 1 minute alone with you, as you wish. He's in his full garb. Tiny Lister Jr., and it cuts away. The reason it cuts away is because Tiny Lister Jr. comes out, but is Andrew Devoff wearing his skin. And this guy he met in prison, this Russian guy, they both leave. And then you have this scene that could have been entirely cut out. There's nothing interesting or intriguing or clever or gory or creative about it. It's just the Russian guy shows Andrew Diaz off to his boss, who's this mafia type of guy. Maybe not mafia, but a crime boss type of guy. Not mafia, but crime boss. And the guy just goes, I want this guy's head. As you wish. And then, whew, and the guy just has a different head. Like, a different face. As if he's fucking Darkman. And again, the guy doesn't even die. There's nothing gory or creative about it. It's like, oh my god, I got another face. It's like, how do we do this as cheap jack as possible? How cheap can we do this? Well, two guys kicking a guy and kick him in the face, that's cheap. Well, we just cut away and the guy has a different face. In other words, we just have a different actor and maybe put the guy's voice in ADR. Oh, well, that's cheap. Like, the entire scene could have been cut out. And then he goes to a casino. Our lead characters, the female thief, I'm sorry, she's boring. There's nothing much to her character other than she feels guilt for killing this guard. And then the priest, which I think he had a history with the girl in the past. I think. At least they've been friends for a while. I don't remember. It was so boring it went over my bald head. At the casino, the priest doesn't do anything, and he doesn't make any wishes. The lead girl doesn't make any wishes at this point. And the point of the Wishmaster is he can't affect stuff unless they make wishes. Yet he's affecting the priest and crucifying him and putting a thorn of crowns on his head. I mean, a crown of thorns on his head. Thorn of crowns. Crown of thorns. But no one made a wish, so how the fuck are you affecting the guy? Like, Elm Street 2, I knew broke the rules, but it was an entertaining movie, in my opinion. This one is not that much entertaining of a movie. And then chaos happens in the casino. I did, like, card shootout, hit people in the face. A woman shits out coins with fart noises. She doesn't die from it. It's just coins come out. It's not like coins and blood. Which be like, it's just coins. And then, like, I'm on the sound effects. And I'm like, Jeff Shoulder, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck were you doing? You made The Hidden. You made Alone in the Dark. Not the Uwe Boll movie. This is the one from the 80s, the good one. You made Elm Street 2, which I enjoyed. What the fuck is this? And then, to stop it, alright, Bokeem Woodbine dies from locusts. You have these really shitty looking locusts in front of camera that might have been drawn on there with a fucking crayon. And then you have some practical groupie effects of his face eaten away. And then pretty much she goes, I wish that guard was alive. He makes the wish, then takes it and says some words and gets the genie back into the jewel. End of movie. If the priest is alive, she's alive, they hug, he's back in the jewel, the Wishmaster. Oh yeah, and the other wish is at the very beginning of the film, the guy who's with the girl at the art gallery, that guy gets shot, he's dying, the Wishmaster comes in, and the guy says, I wish I wasn't born. He goes, as you wish. Then you have this weird, stupid, like, phasing out, and then he turns to, like, a kid and a baby, but it's like, it looks cheap. Like, cheap After Effects on fucking Windows Movie Maker or something. And then he wishes he was never born, thus no one should know who the fuck and remember him, because he was never born. But the lead girl remembers that guy, the priest remembers that guy. I'm like, well, that wish wasn't even properly granted. You're a shitty genie. Shitty Jin. Despite all that, it's still not as bad as, say, Jin with Tobe Hooper, which I rant on that. Tobe Hooper may rest in peace, but Jin, D-J-I-N-N. That rant is on the channel. That's pretty fucking horrible. At least, again, Andrew Devoff does a good job. There's a couple of nice, gory effects, but that's it. I can't say much else about Wishmaster 2, and what sucks is that 3 and 4 are way worse than this. Way worse. But I can't sit here and say I like the movie. And that sucks because Wishmaster I do enjoy the first film. And it could have made a great series of movies. Of fun movies. What creative gore gags do we have next? And yeah, they don't always have to be gore, but be creative. Like Wishmaster 1, the girl was turned to a mannequin. That wasn't gory, but it was creative. The stuff, like I said, with Chris Lemon and Wishes for $1,000,000. This film doesn't do that. It loses the creativity, and it definitely loses a lot of the effects. I don't know if it was direct to video. Somewhere it said made for TV, but I'm like, this was made for TV? What cable station was it? Was it HBO or Showtime or something? I don't remember that. If you do, you can let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies. The last time we saw Andrew Devoff as the Wishmaster, which definitely hurt part 3 and 4, but I'll get to those next. See you guys later. Bye-bye.